even everything that is corporate is taking too long of a time. And the one that gets hurt is mostly the franchisee. Franchisees are the ones that's always struggling, in their opinion. Because you talk to them and they're like, yeah, we're not getting enough support, not the marketing from the head office. That's why I'm not doing that well. But
there's a massive hole in the Canadian market for videos, especially in franchising, because the franchise model, and many franchisees like shoot with their phone, and it's not on brand. And you would know this, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And so the franchisor, the mothership, looks at that. They're like, what is this? You know, and then at the pandemic, I've heard a lot of stories because of the desperation. A lot of franchisees were shooting in their home. The logo wasn't like full resolution. And so it kind of hit the brand a little bit. So like, how does your company come in and kind of clean that up, so to speak?
So it's funny you mentioned about like, you know, someone shooting with their phone and the logo being off. I've heard things like during the pandemic where the franchisees were making their own offers. So let's say a restaurant, they're making their own offers for the food. In our world, like the brand is everything. So we don't discourage people using their phone. We want franchisees because we can't be everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
But we offer guidelines, strategies of how to do it. We offer like, here's like how-tos. If you're going to use your phone, change these settings, you know, add this. But the other thing that we do is we encourage them to send us the content so that we can get it right for them, you know? And in our sense, when we're working with franchisors, we're building that library so that the franchisee sees value in being with that brand. They're now going to go to a Google folder and pull clips that they can utilize. And for us, one day of shooting can be 5 years worth of content that can be recycled, especially when offers become the same thing, right? Like it makes sense to have really good content, and if not having your phone, like you can still shoot good stuff, but it needs to be on brand.
Yeah.
And
that's
people
the
around.
scariest part for franchisors that I've been speaking to. They don't let the franchisee do their marketing because they're afraid it's going to hurt the brand. So now, as Alex is speaking, why not make a library and you let all the franchisees use the library as much as they can,
100%.
as much as they want, and basically encourage them to do it. It will relieve some of the stress that you as a franchisor have, and there's already a library approved for anyone to use for the content.
And you think about like if a franchisee has their franchisor saying, here's content that you can use. We're going to come and shoot a testimonial for you. We're going to shoot your location. Because the thing is like, you don't want everything to look corporate.
Right.
You want, like, let's say if there's a storefront, you want to show, this is what the storefront looks like. Here's the staff that you're probably going to meet. You know, here's everything else. Because the reason I like this industry is the fact that I was so used to either it being a B2B or a B2C, right? So like I was either working with customers that only are customer base, whereas in the franchise world, it's B2B and B2C.
B2F.
Right, and B2F.
Yeah.
Right? So it's one of those things where there's so much that can be done, and what we're seeing is that it's not happening right now. And if it is, it's on the bare minimum, and it's
I'm
scary.
really surprised about that, right? Like we talk about that as well. Like it's very slow to
Yeah.
It is.
They're very slow to adopt new ideas and technology, and it's like, well, 5 years have gone by, and you guys are still in the boardroom. Like, how do you handle that when projects stall that long?
I would say there's a long process time for even in the construction. You know, construction have become cheaper right now for development than it was 3 years ago, and it's very, very strange. But because some of the franchisors basically only look about the price that they pay up front. So you're gonna pay for a store, let's say a location, you're paying $300,000, just to give an example, and then that's the cheapest price you got, and you're choosing that, let's say, contractor. When the store is finished, if it got finished at the right time after three months or whatever that is, it have costed you more, just because. So that is what's hurting in our business right now. When we give you a timeline, that is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be, let's say, 12 to 16 weeks, whatever it takes, depending on the scope of work. But even everything that is corporate is taking too long of a time. And the one that gets hurt is mostly the franchisee. Franchisees are the ones that's always struggling, in their opinion. because you talk to them and they're like, yeah, we're not getting enough support, not the marketing from the head office. That's why I'm not doing that well. But okay, there is some responsibility on you too. So it's always blaming others. But construction and development, in like at Trivex, we had just finished a project in New Brunswick, in Fredericton, for a franchisor, have around 80 locations. And it basically took us 12 weeks to finish it up from start to finish. But we had everything ready for us. We focus on headache-free construction. We focus on delivering on time, because every single month or week after, the franchisee starting paying money for the lease, right? So we're basically doing something called, if we don't finish at this time, let's say if we agree on 12 weeks or 16 weeks, we're paying the rent for the month after.
Wow.
Just to get you on board.
Yeah.
We're going to pay the rent for the extra month that you're going to pay if we don't finish.
Yeah.
So it's in our interest to finish it up.